Hi, puppies. Hi, puppies. Hi, Sophie. Hey, look, Sophie. Sophie. Okay. Hey guys, KJR here, and considering the title of this video, I know it's going to be a little different because basically this video is going to be about spilling the tea. Before I get started, I know it's been a very, very long while since I made a video, at all, and due to the whole, COVID-19 crisis, that's a part of it, but at the same time, it's kinda not. Most of it has to do with, my laziness, because I've been binge playing, Love Live All-Stars, and oh my god, the game is so good! But that's besides the point, so with the whole, COVID-19 thing, I'm actually working from home from now on, so I would think that would be a lot easier for me to be, inspired to make videos, but even then, my work schedule is still very iffy because depending on how much work I get, it depends on when I get out. And it depends if I'm motivated to make videos, and this pandemic is not really helping. But anyway, I have there are basically three things that I want to talk about, also just one mini blippet that I want to throw in there. The mini blippet is basically, God bless Kenny Rogers. He passed away either last night or this morning at the age of 81. God bless the man. He's a musical legend. May he rest in peace. But the first big thing I want to talk about is basically a conversation that my sister and I have been having for the past few days. For the past few days, a lot of you, or all of you, might have noticed that Disney and Pixar are releasing their movies digitally and on Disney Plus a lot earlier than expected. Like, they just put Frozen 2, a couple days ago or a week ago on Disney Plus, even though the movie released, last Thanksgiving. People already stopped talking about Frozen 2 after the Oscars, so I'm like, okay, fine, so they're releasing the movie out on digital, but they didn't really say anything about DVD or Blu-ray yet, so I was like, huh, that's interesting. Why they didn't say that, but then again, this was an announcement they made when the COVID-19 pandemic was actually getting a little bit worse. And around the same time, Pixar released their film Onward, which I did say that I wanted to go see in a past video because I was like, this movie might be interesting, but at the same time, it's kind of a movie that why Pixar decided to make because the storyline didn't really sound Disney or Pixar-esque. But they're actually releasing that on digital in the beginning of April. And if you guys were not paying attention to, Rotten Tomatoes or the box office numbers, because the movie was released at the wrong place at the wrong time, basically with the pandemic happening, this movie is considered to be a box office flop. Because, well, first of all, if the government tells you you can't go to the movies and the movies theaters have to shut down, how is the movie industry making money? They depend on those box office numbers and people paying for tickets to go see those movies for those movies to be successful. And if people are not going to the movies at all, what movie is going to be successful at the time of its release? So for Disney and Pixar to say, Onward is going to go on digital very super early, because, like I said, it's being released at the beginning of April. The movie released in theaters this past, 2 weeks ago. A week or so ago. So, a month for a movie to go from theaters to able for purchase, it either means something really happened that it needed to go on digital right away, like this pandemic, for example, because this has never, ever happened. Unless you get the second option, the movie didn't do so well at all, and people are not going to see the movie after maybe 1 month of its release. The 1 month of its release is if we are not in this type of situation. It's if people by choice do not go see this movie. people don't have a choice to go to the movies at this point if basically the state you're living in or the country you're living in is saying, don't go outside because you're gonna get sick, and people don't want to go to the movies to get sick. So what's the next option to watch things? They're either A, going to watch their televisions for basically the shows that are coming on every week, but at this point I think they're only gonna do reruns because I don't think even Hollywood wants to work on new material due to this crisis right now. You know the shows like Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy? They're not even doing like live shows anymore. They're either going to be doing pre-recorded shows, or they're just going to show reruns because there's got to be a point where even the hosts and the contestants don't want to travel around, even in country. And so then the next option after that is you're going to watch stuff on like platforms like Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Crunchyroll, like any online networking source that is going to show these TV shows for like a certain amount of money a month, and people are going to be willing to pay more to watch these shows on these certain platforms a month because first of all, they're not going anywhere, and they really can't like pay for gas anyway if they're not going to be driving to work every day. Well, no, I'm saying most people, not all people, because there are still people who have to drive. And basically, if they have more money to spend on these types of platforms, then of course they're going to be watching more shows on there. And based on how many clicks or how many times this show/movie is going to be streamed, the studio who created the thing or the platform itself is going to make its money. This is the only source of income it's going to get. This is not really spilling tea, what I'm saying right now, because this should be common sense. If people are not going to the theaters, the best way for these movie studios or TV studios to make money is to have their shows and movies streamed online. And I guess it goes without saying that with online streaming now, it's going to basically outlive actually going to the movies. And the movie theaters might as well die out because, hey, if something like this happens again, people can just stream something online. Like, they don't have to go out to the movie theaters to see a movie, or they don't have to go to a Best Buy or some other movie store in order to buy a DVD or Blu-ray for this movie. I mean, you could probably still buy the DVD or Blu-ray online. I think some online stores have not exactly closed. I know Best Buy says they're not doing delivery. Amazon is not doing delivery, but depending on what stores are still open, I think you'd still buy it, but the best option at this point is to stream it, because, hey, at least you're not running the risk of, oh, this online streaming site is not going to work, because whoever's running the streaming site is not going to be out of work. So that's what I wanted to say about that. It's just to let you know that, basically, with all the streaming that you're gonna get right now for movies, it's not about, like, it's not mostly about our viewing purposes, even though it might be the case, because if we're going to be stuck indoors all day, what are we going to do? It's the best way for Hollywood to make money. Because if Hollywood's not making money, how on earth are they going to make more stuff once this whole pandemic is over? Okay, next, I'm going to go into the big spilling the tea moment. And the reason why I'm making this video to begin with is because I've basically complained about this artist for a very, very long time, and this video is kind of basically an apology letter for this said artist for basically giving her the credit where it was not due. And I think most of you already know what I'm going to talk about to begin with if you've been following me for a while. So I was on Twitter this morning, and there was a hashtag that was in my trending, which caught my eye, which was the, something along the lines of Kanye West is cancel party or something like that. And as a very, very anti-Kanye West person, I was like, what on earth could this be about? So I clicked on the, trending to see if there were news articles or what basically the tweets were about. And I'm gonna go, like, from the beginning with the story because this is the best way I could explain the situation. So, I think most of you remember the situation from 2016 when Kanye released a song called Famous, and basically Kanye put this lyric in the song.
I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why? I made that bitch famous.
This song caused a giant uproar, not only in the Kanye community, not only in the Taylor Swift community, but basically in the community of music itself. Because obviously everyone remembers also this incident that happened when Taylor Swift first got famous.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
So, of course, after this song was released, Taylor Swift at the Grammys, or at least I think it was the Grammys or some award show that she won an award at, she basically made a speech, basically, saying that the lyric in the song is complete and total BS, by saying that there are people who are gonna take credit for your fame, but you gotta remember that it was you that got there. Okay, most of you know, I don't like Taylor Swift's new music. Like, if you've saw my reviews on Taylor Swift's new songs, they make me cringe. But I cannot argue about that speech because all of it was true. But then, right after that awards show, and right after Taylor Swift made that speech, Kim Kardashian posted a video on Twitter of her husband Kanye and Taylor Swift on a phone call, basically discussing this quote-unquote lyric in the song, basically Kanye getting Taylor's permission in order to use it. And this is when the internet basically blew up again, because before it was, oh, Kanye doing another, like, dick move on Taylor because for some odd reason he does not like her, and we don't know why. I mean, we don't even know why he did that the first time back in, like, what, 2009, 2010? But we all knew that Kanye is a total, like, put whatever word that you want here, because all the words I want to use, I cannot use it for this video. But, with this video in particular, for some odd reason, it was so intricate of detail, or not even that, but it was like so out of the norm for the whole Kanye-Taylor dynamic that all of a sudden people started turning their backs on Taylor, so as if to say, oh, Taylor's playing the whole innocent line as a lie this time, because it's like, oh, if she gave Kanye permission to use that lyric, why is she telling us that she didn't? And most people thought, oh, this is for her to get some gain after the whole Grammy situation that happened many, many years ago. So for the past, like, 3 or 4 years, this thing has been happening where Taylor Swift is now the villain, and Kanye is just, I guess, your bumbling doofus, but also the innocent. But today, it blew up on Twitter because, according to an article that I found online, it's not certain who posted this video in particular, but someone actually found the unedited version of basically the Kim Kardashian video that she posted on Twitter of the entire phone call conversation between Kanye and Taylor about discussing Kanye's song. And the weirdest part about this video is that nothing in this video indicated that Kanye was going to use that one lyric at all, despite what the edited version that we did end up getting 3 or 4 years ago actually presented. I mean, yes, in this video, it does discuss some lyrics of the song itself, and for some reason, Kanye was asking Taylor about it, but no, nothing in that entire video actually stated Taylor actually agreeing to that one lyric about her. Nothing. So basically what happened was someone on Kim Kanye's team actually edited that entire phone conversation to make it look like that Taylor was agreeing to that one lyric, when in actuality, it never happened. So at the end of the day, Taylor was the wronged innocent yet again, but this time, Kim and Kanye got smart and warped the whole situation in a way that made it beneficial for them, so they ended up looking like the good people, while Taylor Swift was basically the snake. I feel more like a doofus now because, if you guys remember my past videos, when I initially did that Look What You Made Me Do review, and then every video after that where I was like, oh god, I was an idiot, this song is absolute garbage. I still think that song is garbage because, it still does not sound good, but that's an entirely different point. What I said in my original review of the song was, oh my god, that first verse was fire, because it was basically going after Kim and Kanye in the first place, and you knew how much I hated those two combined. So, now that I think about it, that part of the review is still valid, because now that we know that the whole situation was basically a lie from beginning to end, that whole first verse of me agreeing with Taylor Swift, thank God it's still valid, and now that review is still watchable. To some extent. I mean, I thought that it was probably the best song that Taylor Swift had ever written in years, but that's also a lie, because the second verse was about Katy Perry, which the whole situation with that kind of didn't make any sense, and the whole concept of Taylor Swift now being like the perceived bad guy still didn't work. But the whole first verse about Kim and Kanye, that is still valid, and I think I can now listen to that song again without any source of regret whatsoever. Okay, maybe it's a guilty pleasure at this point, like most of On the Weeknd songs, but I think I can finally go back and listen to that song without feeling super duper gross. If I thought I hated Kim and Kanye before, and I really hated them more than Taylor Swift actually, because look, Taylor Swift's newer songs, they're still not good. They're still not good. Like, she lost her touch somewhere. But that will never, ever, ever deter me from hating Kim and Kanye ever again. Because this is why I don't watch whatever Kim's on TV for, Keeping Up with the Kardashians or whatever. This is why I don't buy her products. This is why I don't legally listen to Kanye's music anymore. Even though his... Okay, first of all, Gold Digger is still a good song. Whenever it comes on the radio, I still bop to that every single time. But his newer music, forget it. Like, forget at this point. Like, I might be contributing to the toxic cancel culture by saying all this, but I'm like, basically, if you concocted a plot to make yourselves look better by basically Donald Trumping the innocent people for your own personal gain, like, I don't care about my hatred for Taylor Swift at this point in this video. I really don't care about that, because I don't have the energy to do it at the moment, but all my energy is going to be spent on how dare you take a conversation, or you probably planned this conversation to begin with, just so you can edit that video to make it look like Taylor Swift is the bad guy this entire time. What reason did you have for that? Like, Kanye, you could have just rewritten the song in order to not get yourself caught with this. Or you could have said straight at the beginning, no, I didn't get Taylor Swift's, like, confirmation to do this lyric. Like, instead you went out of your way to have basically a fake conversation about this song. And now you look a million times worse than you did before. And you risk the chance of everyone going to hate and attack you at every chance they're gonna get. What was your purpose of that? You could have gone in a completely different direction, Kanye. But no, you decided to be, like, the jerkwad that you are. Basically concoct this whole entire scheme that was, at the end of the day, pointless. Because Famous is still a horrible song, for the record. Like, I remember, like, watching a couple of reviews about that song, and despite that one lyric, the song is just bad, and the music video is just even worse. So that's not the point of the day. At the end of the day, for promotion of your song, you risked your reputation, and now it's probably going to get tarnished after this. It might not. I don't know. Kanye still has a fan base, so I honestly have no idea. But for the modern listener, Kanye, you just lost all of them after this, because most of them are fans of Taylor Swift still. And I'm not a part of her fan base either, but I am on the side of justice was served. Because basically, Taylor Swift is the wronged innocent yet again, and everyone knew this to be true. And it didn't take until the year of our Lord, 2020, to finally realize Taylor Swift was right the entire time. She basically did nothing to provoke this incident from occurring, but it was all part of basically Kanye and Kim's evil scheming in order to make them more money and to make them look better. And it's that I cannot stand. So take this part of the video what you will. If you still like Kanye after this, you know what? That's your prerogative. If you don't like Taylor Swift still after this, that's your prerogative. I'm just saying that there is a good guy and a direct good guy and a direct bad guy after all this. And you know now who those are. And I'm just saying, if there has to be an alliance at some point or another, who you choose is where you're gonna stand by. This portion of the video is actually a really nice announcement. I have a Wattpad now, and if you don't know what Wattpad is, it's just basically a platform where writers can go to share their work. And I actually knew of Wattpad for many years, but I kind of associate it with another version of fanfiction.net because that's where everyone posts their One Direction Justin Bieber or like, I don't know, Disney fanfiction, and the writing kind of is not good. But nowadays, actually, it's been said that a lot of writers get a lot of recognition on Wattpad, so I did use another website. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was called Figment. It was a similar sort of thing, but it was actually a website where people can critique each other's work and basically build up your writing blog. I used that for many years, but it got shut down a couple years ago, which made me really upset. So I thought I would get into that again using Wattpad, and I actually have 2 works in progress on that website right now. The first one is actually called Once Upon a Time. It's a collection of fairy tales, modern fairy tales that I'm working on, and I'm going to be releasing a new short story of that every Wednesday. So if you guys are interested in fantasy, magical realism, short stories, I highly recommend you start reading that and catching up every week. But then the next story is actually one of the first novels that I've ever finished, and I'm still kind of doing tiny edits on. It's called Buela. It's actually a retelling of Treasure Island. It takes place in an apocalyptic future where most of the earth is covered in water, and it's mostly like tiny islands that inhabit the planet now, and some of it kind of has Treasure Planet references. If you guys remember that Disney movie from 2002, 2003, it's personally one of my favorite Disney movies, so I thought I would adapt this retelling in a way that it would bring both of those sources justice. And the protagonist is actually a girl named Buela who lives with her older half brother. Their home got destroyed by pirates because Buela discovered a map that was hidden in one of the books that her brother sells in order to make money. And it's basically an adventure to find this treasure because it's legend to be one of the greatest treasure stories of all time. And if it turns out to be real, Buela's gonna be rich, her family's gonna be able to live off on this money. And basically, kind of like Treasure Island, a whole amount of chaos is going to ensue. I post new chapters of this novel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, which is today. I actually posted a new chapter of this video today on Wattpad, so I'm going to have the links in the description box of this video right here. So if you guys are very, very interested in this journey that I have, please make sure, if you have a Wattpad, please follow me for updates. And if you don't have a Wattpad, but if you just want to read it anyway, please do. I highly insist. I'm really excited for this journey that I'm going to take with my writing. So, well, what else is there to say? Please go, 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 go. Like, you can click off this video right now. You can just go. Well, you can also click off because this is basically the end of the video anyway. If you did enjoy this video and want to see more of my content, if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe. Also, hit the like button. And if you have any comments about basically the whole on digital streaming for movies and TV shows situation, or if you have any opinions about the Taylor Swift and Kanye West thing, make sure you put it in the comments below. I'm also advising, I wish I should have said this before, I highly advise that you don't ever send hate to any of these people at all, because I do not want to condone any hatred whatsoever when it's not deserved, especially when I'm just talking about the situation and putting my opinions on the table. Like, I don't condone anyone using my video as hate propaganda. So please take that or take that with a grain of salt. And I'm just here to provide entertainment and information. That's it. Nothing else. So with that said, I'm Kate Sharon. It's been real. Ciao!